What do you see in the Senators right now?
They're playing really good hockey right now. One from their goaltender out. Like he's been very good for them over the last little while, but I think that also is an indicator of how they're playing in front of them. So they're a tight group defensively right now, but they still have the offensive players that can score goals. So this is a great challenge for us tonight, which I'm looking forward to, and I know our team is as well.
We talked about the face-offs last game and the challenge there. Like when you're losing a draw, how do other players have to compensate when you're losing 2/3 of the draws in a given night?
Compensate?
Yeah, like in terms of winning the puck back, or how does that affect the flow of a game when you're seemingly behind the 8 ball in that?
Well, they know if their centerman that they're on a line with is not having success, they gear their brains a little bit more to retrieval. So what am I doing on a lost draw? I'm not saying they're telling their center they're going to lose the draw, but they're thinking, what's my role, what's my responsibility here if we don't get this draw? So I think that's probably what's going on in those situations.
And do you feel like it seems from our vantage point there isn't a time of practicing of the face-offs after practice or during practice? Like, do you feel like that's something that can like increase more, or like how do you feel like that gets?
I see it almost every day in practice. So like today. So I don't know. That's my thought on it.
Would you consider using or working Coronado in a little
Totally.
bit? Yeah.
Absolutely, because we don't have that right-handed guy, and I think that a lot of the issues in the circle come from our lack of right-handed centermen, because we're forcing guys to have to take draws on their offside a lot of times, and teams know that, so they always put us on that side more often than not. Matt has taken draws before in the past. He's starting to take a few now for us. There's certain situations where Michael's such a smart player that if someone is beating him fairly consistently on that side, he'll let Matt go in and take the odd draw. And I think if that's something that we can continue to work with him on and help him build that part of his game up, it's a good thing. 1, for power play, 2, for situational plays where teams are always trying to stick us on that side.
There's got to be an element of not wanting to ask him to do more of that until he's ready for it. Like, there's some confidence that comes with that. Is there?
Sure. But at the same time, if the team isn't having success, he should feel okay stepping in there. Like I said, he's done it before. He just hasn't done a lot of it at this level. Yeah.
Huska, is there a way to explain why you've only had 2 power plays in the first 3 games of this homestand?
Not really, no. When we get into situations like that, you always push the players to make sure you're earning those, and that's by moving your feet and trying to make teams defend, because that's when a tired team typically takes penalties. So you try to push them on that, but every year I think you go through a stretch where you're not getting a lot of them. We're in that right now, but it's up to us to make sure that we earn those calls by moving our feet and really being a hard team to play against.
How close is Martin Pospisil to being where you need him to be?
I think he's there right now. The way he's playing, he's involved all the time now. He's creating room for his 2 line mates. The next step for him is how do we get him to take the strengths of his game, the pressure, the skating, the physicality, and then help him start to make that next play where he can also become a little bit more dangerous offensively. And I think that's the next step for him now.
Right, and I know we've talked about Ball and Anderson as a pairing, but what's working there, or what do you see there that has kind of made it? I don't think there's more than one pairing that's played more minutes together across the NHL. What's made them so maybe easy to leave together for you?
They had success early on, and you could see there was some chemistry there, and I feel like both guys are capable of playing against top lines, and that's what we need out of them. I'm not really – I don't know another pair that – we've never taken them apart. They've played together all the time, so even on nights where they've been off, we've left them together. So they do a good job together. I think they understand where the other is going to be now. I think probably because they've been together for so long, they've got that kind of quiet chemistry about them where they have a pretty good understanding of how the other guy wants to play the game.
Can you hear Ryan Lomberg sing the anthem on the bench? I'm wondering about the volume there.
I can't, but I have seen some comments about it, or I think it's pretty cool. He's that way, though. He's a beauty. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a question for you. Nice to meet you, Coach.
Nice
I'm
to meet
Kenzie
you
with
as well.
TSN. I just kind of want to get your thoughts on the play of Zary and Pelche, just some young, exciting guys. Just what are you seeing from them here recently?
Pelche is one of our recent guys that's been called up, and I think for him, I think it's 6 games now he's been in. he's using his speed the right way, where he's winning races to loose pucks, and he's also adding a little bit of physicality. And that's funny when you say for a smaller type player, but he's getting involved in the play now, which is what we need from him. And the nicest thing for me is I feel like he's trying to grab hold of a penalty kill role for us, and that might be an area which will allow him to be a consistent guy in our lineup. The energy and the speed he brings are important for us. Connor, we started him on the wing. He's now been in the middle of the ice for quite a while. I think he's starting to really understand the position a little bit more. He's a special player in regards to what he does with the puck. So he's a guy that we want to possess the puck all the time and make plays, off of him being able to beat someone in a situation where most times they don't. So both guys have come a long way, I feel, this year, and we need them. They're important pieces of our team.
You never want to be chasing in games or in
Yeah.
seasons. You guys have been in a playoff spot most of the year. You're in one right now. How important is it to protect a playoff spot as opposed to chase one?
It's one. Hey, we have to find a way to win tonight. That's really it for us, right? You have to make sure you're at your best to give yourself a chance to be there at the end. That's what it's about. So bring your best tonight, and then continue to give yourself the opportunity.